Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here today for a fun Facebook Live video that I'm kind of impromptu here today, and I just thought that I would come on for a little bit and do some crafting with you, if that's okay. I had something fun that I had seen at OnStage this past weekend, and it was a brilliant idea, and I wanted to share it with you. So I thought that I would come on and show you how to do it, because I think that you're going to love it. And it's just a super fun, different way of doing a shaker card that I never would have thought of before if I hadn't seen it myself. So, with that in mind, this is going to be so impromptu, I don't even have a sample to show you. We're going to make it together, so wish me luck. Alright, so now I do have a few things kind of put together already-ish, meaning that I have an idea in my head, and I know that I want to use this warm and toasty stamp set because, honestly, I just put the labels on it. I haven't even used this stamp set yet, and that's an utter disgrace. So the sentiments are so cute. The images are absolutely adorable. So I want to use this stamp set, and I'm also going to be using some of the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. So I have that off to the side. I have the warm and toasty stamp set. I'm going to be using the snowflake sequins for my shaker items. And I have a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock for my base, which is 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25 inches. And I'm going to set that off to the side because it looks like my camera kind of freaked out about that. A little too much white in there. Okay, and then I have some scrap white cardstock that I'm going to use to stamp my sentiment with. And I have one of Stampin' Up's clear cello bags, and this is going to be the shaker element. It's unbelievable. It's so amazing. You're going to love it. Okay. All right. So here's what we need to do. First and foremost, I'm going to bring my Pierce mat out. I have a scrap of Whisper White cardstock here, and I'm going to use this super cute guy right here. And let me stamp that in tuxedo black ink. So let me get it on a block. How's everyone doing today? I see folks popping in. Please say hello. I hope that you're all having a fantastic Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Hi, Miss Debbie. How's it going? All right, so I'm going to just ink this up really good. Let me set that off to the side here. And I'm just going to stamp him down right in the center. Now, don't gasp. I'm not wasting paper. I'm actually going to be die cutting this using the layering ovals shapes. So I need a little bit of room on each side. Hi, Elaine and Nicola. How's it going? Oh, from Belfast, Ireland. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Miss Donna, how's it going? Okay, so I want to set this off to the side for just a second. I'm going to do just a little bit of coloring on him, but I want it to be fully dry because I'm going to be using some Stampin' blends. All right, so now let me come back to the card, which I'm keeping the card base off to the side so that way my camera doesn't freak out. And what we're going to do is use this envelope as the shaker element. So I want to cut some Designer Series paper, and I'm going to need your help with this because I have a lot of options to choose from, and I'd love for you to help me decide. I think I'd like to use this one, but I'll leave it to you. What do you think? Should we use this paper or this one maybe? Or we could go totally like pool party green and do this one. What do you think? I'd love to hear. This one would be pretty as well, but I tend to like this one better. What do you think? I think that they're all very pretty, so it's hard to decide for sure. But we're going to use this beautiful snowflake sequins for the shaker element. So we want something maybe not so much white, so maybe not this one. Elaine says the first one. I agree, Elaine. I think that's the one we should use. So with that in mind, let me grab my trimmer. And I want this piece to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 because the card base front is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, right? That's a standard card base, A2 card base in the US anyway. So let me take this and let's do the darker side. So let's cut it at 4 inches here. That goes off to the side, and then 5 1/4, and we'll go stick with the more dark side. So we'll go to 5 1/4 here. Hi, Miss Sarah. How's it going? Oh, how's everyone doing today? It's an absolutely beautiful day here in East Tennessee. It's almost too nice to be inside. In fact, arguably it is too nice to be inside. Okay, now this is so easy and so much fun. You're just gonna love it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide my designer series paper into this sleeve, right? Just like so. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fold over. Actually, I'll just bring that all the way to the edge like that. And then I'm gonna fold over the edges here, so that way my little snowflakes don't go up underneath. And we could put a pinch or two. Hey, Shyler, we could put a pinch or two inside here before we fold it if you want to, but I think that because these are so fine that if we don't tape it first, it's going to fling over. So what I'm going to do is get just some regular Scotch tape. This is technical stuff here, and we're going to, okay. I'm going to just fold this edge over like so and tape it down. Let me make sure that I'm not sticking it up above the edge of my paper here. I want the tape to be hidden on the back. So just like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold this all the way. There we go, and I'll put a little more tape there. None of this is going to show, so it's a-okay to have more than one piece here on each side if you want to. Alright, so just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Alright, and so what I'm doing is I'm fitting my envelope sleeve to the designer series paper size. Alright, so I'm just folding the edges of the envelope over and taping it down on the back side, so that way it's form-fitting to the designer series paper. Alright, so just like that. Very good. Okay. Alright, so now what we have is the front on 3 sides is the size of our designer series paper, right? And then we have, of course, the envelope tab here. And what we'll do is fill the snowflakes in, and then we're going to tape this part down as well. Now, you can either use the strip, or I'm going to go ahead and cut this because there's so much here. So I'm just going to cut, and it doesn't even have to be an exact amount here. We're just cutting, okay? And then I'm going to sprinkle in, and sprinkle it all over my work table. Alright, there we go. Now wait a second. That little piece is huge, actually. I'll save that for something else. Okay, so there we go. I'm adding some sprinkles. Now mind you, this stuff gets everywhere. So let me just try to pick some of it up. What's the weather like where everyone is today? I know that we've got some folks all over the US and now it seems all over the world as well. So I'm curious to know what the weather's like where you are. And yeah, is it nice or is it getting bad? Are you getting snow yet? I'm really hoping, and I know my Tennessee friends are probably going to scold me later, but I'm really hoping that we see some real snow in East Tennessee this year. I'm so excited for it. Okay, now let me get that pile loose of itself. There we go. And I'm going to flip it over, smooth it down as best I can, and then I'm going to tape this side down as well. And at this point, you just want to make sure that all of your envelope, all of the plastic, is folded under. Okay, so you don't want any of it showing on the front side. You want it all tucked away and hidden. Give me just one tiny little piece more. Oh, sunny and beautiful. It's beautiful in North Carolina. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. All right, here we go. Very good. Okay, and now I'm just kind of easing some of the air out. Here we go. Oh, Shyler says it's cold and rainy. Yuck. Well, I hate to hear that, but I hope you're warm and toasty at least. Okay, so now you can see that I have this super cute little shaker card, and we've not even gotten to the good stuff yet, right? Okay, so now all I'm gonna do is mount this to the front of the card. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Okay, so let me get my Stampin' seal here, and I'm gonna be pretty generous with it at this point. Now, you know what else you could do? You could put this whole thing on dimensionals, and that would be pretty neat too. I'm not going to do that with this one, but oh, it's always raining in Northern Ireland. Nicola, I hate to hear that. I have always wanted to visit Ireland. I could handle rainy though if it's warmer at least, maybe. All right, so there we go. Now we've got our shaker card basically built. And that's the gist of it. But now, of course, we have to dress it up, right? So let's go ahead and come back to our little polar bear here. And I think, let's see, maybe some balmy blue. How about Highland Heather? I think those will be good colors, don't you? All right. Okay, so now when you're using the Stampin' blends, there's a bullet point and a brush point, and honestly, all I do is I'm just giving it some go. I'm not really worried too much about any particular way of doing this. I'm trying to stay inside the lines, and I'm not holding the brush down for too long of a time, because the longer you have the tip sitting on the paper, the longer, the more ink absorbs into the paper, and it'll actually saturate it pretty good. So we don't want that. We just want light colors here. I'm actually not doing anything at all fancy. I'm not going to do any incredible shading or highlighting. I'm just going to color this guy. And let me just do this in blue. And honestly, I thought that I would do some shade and highlight even with the two different shades of colors, but I'm not going to do that either. I'm just going to keep this as simple and basic as I can manage it, just to be quick and fun. So how's that? Alright, so I'm putting some purple in between here. I could have gone to a little more trouble about shading it, but I just thought that I would come and do a quick and fun card with you. And I thought that the shaker idea was a brilliant one, and I wanted to share it. So this will certainly give you some ideas anyway. So I'll just color this in, and I'm keeping it quite basic. Here we go. Notice that I'm just really lightly applying the color. I'm not holding the tip to the paper for too long, because if you do, it will soak up outside the lines and make you look like a horrible coloring person. And well, I am anyway, so I don't need that any more than I can stand. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and color this purple as well, because our little polar bear has plenty of white on him already, so we don't need all of the white for the pom-pom and the fuzz on the hat. We can just make the brim of the hat and the pom-pom a purple color, and it'll be okay. Oh, he looks so cute. Now, one thing I will do, though, and I love doing when it comes to white items, I like to take the light Pool Party Stampin' Blends marker and create just a little bit of shadow. And so whenever you're dealing with things that are white, this is perfect because it helps kind of invoke the shadowing on the whatever the item is. So as I'm dealing with the little polar bear here, I'm going to color under his hat. I'm going to color inside of his ears just a little. I'm going to come down here under his scarf, and then on the underside of his belly and under his leg here. There we go. Now all this does is adds just a little bit of something to make it look like there's some shadow on the whiteness. Okay, so that's the point of that. And then let me get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I'm going to use the layering ovals here. And I'm going to need your help again too, because I'll need to pick a color to die cut this piece with. So be thinking about it. Shall we do a balmy blue? Shall we do a Highland Heather? Maybe the Pacific Point? So what do you think? Let me know in the comments, and I will go ahead and cut this piece out first while you are deciding. There we go. I think it's time to replace my cutting mat. I'm getting it quite used up. There we go. Alright, see, I didn't waste much. Okay, what do you think? Highland Heather. I think that's a great idea, Nicola. Okay, let me grab... I don't think this piece is big enough. Nope, it isn't. Let me see if I can find another one here. Yes, no, yes. There we go. All right. Bring back the die cut machine. Oh yeah, I see some more Highland Heather. Very good. Okay. Here we go. Let me put it right about there. Get it on the board. All right. Okay. Alright, now I will use dimensionals on this because why not? It's beautiful. And I love putting dimensionals between layers of my die cut focal point, so it just gives it a little bit of extra emphasis, and it really does make a difference in the interest level on your card. So I love using dimensionals. All right, put this on like that. Beautiful. Isn't he gonna be great? Now I think he should probably be on this side, don't you? Okay, let's see here. Maybe I want... Okay, let me put some dimensionals on the back side here. All right, maybe I want a little bit of ribbon here. So let me grab a couple things. Let's see. All right, I got a whole handful here. Let's see now. What do you think? Honestly, I like that. That one's pretty. This is the one that comes with the suite, and it's interesting because as you can see when it lays across the paper, it kind of takes on the color of the paper too, doesn't it? Let me see how I feel about... It may need just a little more than that. That one's not bad. Let's see here. What do you think? Oh, the Night of Navy one. It has just a bit more kind of like a focal. Let's try this and see. Trying to find the words that I'm thinking to say. Getting a little tongue-tied. That's okay though, right? Okay, listen. Focus. All right. How do we feel about that? I like this. Okay. All right, let's do this. Get these out of the way. All right, now I'm going to take some of that Stampin' Seal and just put it right there in the middle so that way it can hold my ribbon down for me. So we'll go, make sure it's on the card, not hanging over too much. There we go. And then a little across there. There we are. And then take this off and apply it to the card. And then I'm gonna take that sentiment, warm and toasty wishes, I think. So let's lay that down. Here we go. Okay. And then let's put this on and our black ink again. And let's stamp this. All right, warm and toasty wishes to you. All right. Okay, now I think I'd like to, let me see here. Let me use this. Oh, I need to slice it down just a tiny bit here. There we go. We'll shave just a little off. And that way we can fit it in here. Okay, very good. And I need to cut just a little off. So all I'm gonna do is very carefully, you don't want to take too much because this punch actually takes quite a bit. So just by taking that tiny little bit off is going to make a huge difference. As you can see, I just cut off too much. So what I'm going to do is re-stamp it. Easy peasy fix. Alright, so we'll just flip that over. Magical double-sided paper. And I'm going to re-stamp it. There we go. Much better. If only I had done that in the first place, huh? Alright, there we go. Very good. Alright, now I think what I'd also like to do is take a little bit of this light color and I'm just gonna really quickly ruin it. I don't like that. Do you like that? I don't like that. So this is the downside of doing things on the spot. When you have an idea in mind and it didn't quite look how you wanted it to, that's okay. We're gonna re-stamp it and we'll do it better. All right, let me stamp first. There we go. This is gonna be one of those Dana outtake videos, I can tell already. You ever have one of those days? There we go. All right, now we'll try that and see. And I believe I need to trim it down just a hair. This little trimmer really comes in handy for such fine cuts. There we go. Let's try this one instead. I don't know that I like that banner as much, so let's try this. There we go. Better. Okay, I'm going to trim it down again at the risk of committing another fatal act. We'll try this like this. There we go. Better. All right. Fake it till you make it, my friends. All right, I'm gonna try my luck here again. Shall we try our luck? Do you do that? Do you try your luck? Do you play it safe? There we go. This is at total risk of being completely off here. All right, there we go. I like that better. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it like that because I didn't like the way it looked by putting some of the color behind it. I wouldn't mind having a little bit of watercolor, but at this point, with the paper that I'm using and this ink, I really don't want to trust trying to do that live because I will mess that up. And so I'm just gonna leave it. Let's see. Okay. There we go. All right, I'm leaving it alone. And I'll put this here. Besides, I don't want to cover up too much of our little shaker either. So there we go. All right, so now we've got our beautiful little shaker on the front, and if you've watched my videos enough, you know, no naked insides and no naked envelopes. So I want to do something on the inside. So I have warm and toasty wishes to you stamped on the outside. So maybe either the little mice or the little baby polar bear. I think maybe the baby polar bear. What do you think? Let's just stamp him on the inside. Right here on this side even. There, super cute. Okay, now you know what else? This set has a really cute little snowflake cluster here, so I think, where's my balmy glue? I'll grab it and just put a couple of little snowflakes around my new friend. How's that? All right, and then once again we'll take the light pool party, and because he's a little bit smaller, I'm just gonna add a little bit right in here, right here. Here we go. Little on the inside of the ears. There we go. And you know what I think? I think that little baby polar bears probably have little pink toes. So let's just go ahead and add that right there. That's so cute. All right, what do you think, my friends? Super simple and relatively easy when you know the design you're going to do ahead of time. Fun, different way of doing a shaker card. I love this technique because it's not a whole lot of bulk. There's not a lot of excess Stampin' dimensionals, making sure that you're sealing everything in so it doesn't leak out. And this is a really nice way of making the entire card front a shaker card. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed that part of it, and it's also a very low profile, so it's really easy to do this card, and then it will stick in the mail in a regular envelope and not cost you extra postage either, so that's always good. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Until then, bye for now.